Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
The Sabrina Carpenter Situation.
Hey everyone, it's Music's Anthony Fantano. You have clicked on what should be a very interesting topic coming out of the world of pop music and concerning one of the biggest and buzziest.
How many YouTube flags he has? One on the left, and look like on the right there's like 3 flags. He has that many channels, or no, two on the left.
I think it's for different levels, maybe.
Pop stars of today, Miss Sabrina Carpenter. She has been recording and writing music for quite a while now, but really since she had Mi Espresso pop off commercially in the way that she has, her growth and her momentum has just been unstoppable. With the super successful album that followed the release of that single, the even more successful tour, all of the media opportunities,
You know who
and
he
the
looks like a little bit? The wrestler, Dave Batista.
Hmm.
And Sabrina is striking while the iron is hot and is giving us another album cycle sooner rather than later. This past weekend, she kicked things off with a brand new single titled Manchild, and she then followed that single up this week with the release of the album cover for this new record. The album is titled Man's Best Friend, and this is what the album cover looks like.
Okay, based on what, because you told me about the situation, I thought it was worse. I imagined it a
What?
little differently. I thought it was worse. I mean, okay,
I don't think you saw it.
I saw
Did you
it.
dissect? Did you dissect the whole thing?
I get it. I kind of thought it was a little worse, but okay, it's still, I get it.
And maybe some of you wouldn't believe it, but this album cover has actually struck up quite the discourse online. Is it degrading? What is Sabrina doing? I mean, if there's one phrase I can use.
I mean, to be fair, that's what her songs are about. So what did you, unless you're not listening to her music, if you're upset about it, that's kind of what all her songs are about.
What
To
is it
sum
about?
up this,
Sex, a lot.
Uh,
Sound like it.
this is more like how I understand is just like it's portraying like kind of abuse in a way.
Abuse? I don't get abuse.
I
from
guess
that.
you didn't look at see
Oh,
the photos.
maybe he'll put it on again.
cover and the reaction many people are having to it right now, it's probably Rorschach test. Like, it's just an image that could potentially mean a bunch of different things, and everyone is coming at it quite aggressively with their own wild view and interpretation of it, and just reacting so strongly with that perception. Whether we want them to or not, many of the major culture war topics of today kind of revolve around sex, gender politics, relationships. So anything that digs into sexuality, as a lot of Sabrina Carpenter's content typically does, is going to rub some people the wrong way. And this has been going on with Sabrina for a while now, whether it's within the content of her songs or all of the recent funny little Juno poses that have been kind of getting
Oh,
clipped and going
right,
viral.
right. I even forgot about that. Not only the songs, even her performances, the Juno, yeah. So that's what she's going for. How can you be mad at it now?
Social media, from her performances. And while sex is absolutely nothing new in pop music, that is obvious, Sabrina does explore it and perform it within her art in a way that comes across genuine, to the extent that, like, she does come across at least a bit like a horny little goblin. Which, I mean, in this modern era of define yourself and do whatever you feel like is true to you feminism, sort of seems like in line with what women should feel empowered to do if they so choose.
Right, how's that any different than Cardi's songs? Like, Cardi, very vulgar too. Like, who cares?
If Sabrina wants to show off in a somewhat salacious way that she's into being a bit submissive in a sexual context, that is her right, and I don't see why she should be denied that or harassed for it or hated for it. And yet, the most surface level reads of this cover and Sabrina's current era artistically kind of goes like this: superstar, more like porn star. Her whole career revolves around sex now. And also posts like this have been.
Remember, she's been around for a long time, and so for her to pop off, I guess people are focusing like, oh, since she popped off from this, she's gonna stick to this.
I kind of feel like she tried a lot of different things. She found something that popped her off. It's sex. So she's like really leaning into it because that's what make. Because she's probably tired of doing good girl shit for like 6, 7 years that her career lasted. She's like, okay, they want me to be horny. Okay, that's what I'm about to do.
You should have seen that she had another option for the cover. It was much, much more innocent. I forgot what it was. I think it was like a puppy with a collar on it.
Oh, well, honestly, I'm looking at this right now. I don't. As I said, I honestly I thought it was worse than when you told me
Mm.
about it.
I think you have to like zoom in too to see like kind of like her face and everything, what the person's doing with their hands.
I see like he's pulling her hair a little
Yeah.
bit.
Going even more viral. It's not normal for the new generation of pop girls to do things like this. It's neither sexy nor cool. It's just disgusting and objectifying.
And I feel like it's always the men that are offended by this. I don't understand why the fuck men are bothered by this. That is just so.
You said the men are offended by
I
this?
feel like
Oh,
it's
I think it's
always
mixed.
conservative men that they don't want women. I don't know.
Oh, it's a mixture because also they don't want in general the population is saying that they don't want her to just rely on this. Just don't only give us that. I guess it was cute and fun to do it here and there, but if that's all you do, it's the same criticism they give to Cardi B or any of the ladies
Yeah, as I
who do
said, because
music.
That's what Cardi does.
The one
Fine
next to
women.
her is Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, I don't really exactly get what's sexual about that one. She's throwing up guts. What's sexual about that one?
I guess it's comparing that you don't have to do sexy to sub because Olivia Rodrigo, she did pretty well with this album, no?
Yeah, that was great. No, but the person is saying that Olivia
Is
is saying it's not normal for the new generation of pop girls to do things like this. It's neither sexy nor cool. It's just disgusting.
oh
So she's comparing the two, but I don't see
oh
anything
oh
sexual about Olivia Rodrigo. She's
oh
throwing up. Clearly, it's vomiting guts.
hmm.
What?
This Olivia Rodrigo image doesn't even read as sexual. I feel like you need to be
Right.
demented to see it as such. Because
Right.
first off,
Yeah.
there's nothing sexy about the picture. That is, unless maybe you find vomit enticing. Like
I
there's
know,
not
Someone
right?
an
can.
alluring or
Oh, I
even
didn't notice the
flirty.
person holding her hair.
It doesn't change anything. Someone is helping her to vomit. It's like whatever.
Oh.
Now, if she was angled differently, then we can talk about it. But the way she's angled right now, she's throwing up.
Kind of look on
Oh.
Olivia's face in the picture. She's like quite dead-eyed and her mouth is open again as if she's puking. Then you have all the stars and the guts logo coming out of her mouth. And you have the hand behind her head holding her hair. Yes, but that's being done as if she's like puking. You've never been at a party where someone's been sick, or you've never seen like a girl, or maybe you as a man have never like held a girl's hair as they're having to puke in the toilet. As someone who has had to hold someone's hair before as they were puking, it is not a sexual act. And then there's the Sabrina image, which yes, does have a sexual connotation to it. But the thing is also, it's Sabrina's choice to do this. It's her album cover. Believe it or not, in the midst of this discourse, there are some people who have been moronically bringing up Madonna, saying like, "Oh, Madonna would never degrade herself for a man. She would never be on her knees for a man. She would never do that. Look at these pictures
Right.
of her with guys all dressed in leather, and she's like sitting on top of
Clearly, somebody has never seen Madonna perform. Then
No.
them like they're chairs, when there's literally pictures of Madonna in a submissive context within like, you know, her whole sex book that she did back in the day, which again is something that I feel like if a pop star did now, some of these people would just be flipping shit about, which again kind of brings me back to the Rorschach test point and how fragmented our society is currently when it comes to a whole host of social issues, but especially stuff around sex, because you have some people who are hyper radical and conservative. You have some people who are hyper just inexperienced and afraid and maybe insecure around these issues. And you have some people who are just hyper progressive on these topics and feel like Sabrina is not taking it far enough, because there's like the other side of the coin of this debate. People saying stuff like she constantly does Disney Channel versions of the stuff stars like Madonna used to do, but they still generate discourse as if they're daring, crazy, controversial, problematic, whatever. Another sign of the lifelessness of this pop era, which I wouldn't go as far as to say that, honestly. I actually think this current era of pop music is quite interesting and entertaining. And while Sabrina is not my favorite, there are a lot of tracks from her that I like and enjoy. And I think that with an album cover like this, she's doing her best to kind of navigate the fact that she wants to do something that explores sexuality in some way. But again, given that lack of
So
monoculture,
I think maybe that second album choice is for, you know, people who can't buy the other one.
where exactly the envelopes are to push on such a topic aren't exactly super obvious. I think a cover like this does what it can to kind of like assess that broad array of perspectives on this topic, kind of split the difference between where everybody is at, and then find exactly the point that is going to be pushing it far enough to where it gets reactions, but not so far that she seems like she's completely out of her mind. Given the way the discourse has been shaping up around this cover so far, I would say Sabrina and her collaborators like nailed that pinpoint pretty accurately. I think over the past 10 years, we've been seeing more people who
I wonder if it was
today
expected
are.
that it would create this kind of commotion.
I don't know what she was thinking, but I think she knew what she was doing, though. I think she's aware. I don't think she's so oblivious. I think she found this little niche that's kind of sells for her, and I think she's just gonna, I'm gonna embrace it, and that's what she's doing it.
Maybe a bit more sheltered and conservative socially, at least. And that is not something that is Sabrina's fault or is within Sabrina's control. I mean, what I can at least commend here is that, at least in her own way, Sabrina is sensing that's happening on some level, and again, finding where exactly that point to push is so that you actually get a reaction and you sort of like challenge people's perceptions of sexuality. And I think she's obviously finding ways to challenge it, not only for people who might have just broadly conservative views, but for people who might have a bit of a twisted view of feminism thanks to the internet, and in this knee-jerk fashion read any woman presenting herself in a sexual fashion, especially within pop music, as like her objectifying herself or degrading herself in some way. In some horrendous cases, this even comes along with some sexual shaming and body shaming too. I'm supposed to believe she's not pandering to men when she promotes unreasonable beauty standards that she doesn't even meet, along with her countless other offenses. Okay, first,
offenses? Who are you? The police? What?
Damn.
Popo 50?
What other offenses? And secondly, how is Sabrina simultaneously promoting unrealistic beauty standards but also not meeting them by just presenting herself physically to the world in the way that she just looks? And then there's this accusation that Sabrina is blatantly pandering to men in this disgusting way with her work and with the way she's presenting herself, which, like, again, given how socially conservative and sexually conservative a lot of people, and especially...
I think that really would depend. I would be curious to know how many men attend to her concerts.
I don't think she's. I think women. Just kind of her music is kind of women empowering. I don't. It's same thing with like Cardi. Like I don't really think women like are bopping to WAP. I mean, sorry, men are bopping to WAP. What is? Imagine a man singing this wet ass pussy, wet and gushy. Like what the fuck? I hear so. If I saw some of these guys singing in the gym, I'm like, you okay? Like no.
But Sabrina has songs like Espresso you like.
I like, but I'm not gonna go listen to it. Like if it comes on the radio, cool, I'll bop to it, but I'm not gonna go, oh, let me go play Espresso.
And you like Please, Please, Please.
Rachel, the songs that we see on these charts, I like them by conditioning to the simple fact that I listen to those samples 3 times a week
You look forward to
for
saying,
a whole year. I get conditioned to the songs. I'm used to them, so I'm okay with them playing. But these are not the songs that I would go listen to on my own time. You would never see me type into my YouTube music Sabrina Carpenter. No. However, the songs that she makes for pop music are good. They're great radio songs. If it comes on the radio, I'll bop to it.
She's kind of lucky because they're not even pulling the fact that, she was a Disney star.
Yes.
And try to put her, you're supposed to be a role model for like the kids who watch you from Disney know you from there. They're not even doing that to her.
And guys, Disney, Nickelodeon, same thing. Don't come here. Oh, she's I don't know, but somebody's gonna be in the comments. Oh, she's not this. Who cares? You get the point. Anyway, continue.
But they're not pulling that she was a child star at all, like they did to like Miley Cyrus, Amanda Bynes, all the other girls who came before through the child system, the child acting system. Once they get to their provocative era, they get really dragged for that. But since that's not even brought up in the conversation, I think she's lucky.
Dudes seemingly are these days. For the most part, a lot of guys I see on the internet react to Sabrina Carpenter saying, oh, she's a whore. Why would a woman who used to be on the Disney Channel present herself?
Yeah, some guys are, I don't know, like it's a little weird to me how guys are, I don't know if they're offended by it. Because, like even in the gym, I see some guys, they see a girl like in a, like a sports bra and shorts, they're like, oh, I would never allow my girl to wear like, I'm like, why does that bother? Like, they just like feel offended that they see a girl. I'm like, I don't understand how as a straight man you can see like a semi-naked girl and be offended by that. I do not get that. What's offensive about it?
That's interesting.
Like, you don't have to go to a strip club. You see it for free. It's like, what? So you go to a strip club, you pay for that, but when you see it in person, you're like offended by it. I don't get it.
Do you know why they're offended? Like, what's the offense?
I don't know why. It's like, yeah, and it's just so weird to me that, and honestly, it's not every. There's a lot of guys that just look and okay, yeah, they enjoy it. But
What I've heard is that if they look, they don't like that they get in trouble for looking.
That's fair though.
That's why they have a kind of like an anger to it.
That is fair though. If you are wearing like almost naked, expect people to look. If you wearing almost naked and you want people not to look, I do feel that's unrealistic expectation. Because if you don't want people to look, don't wear that. If you wear that every time, assume people are gonna look. So wear this, whatever you wear, you should be comfortable in people looking at you in that. So if you're coming in, with your half of ass cheeks showing, well, people gonna look at your half ass cheeks. It is what it is.
Self to the world sexually in any way whatsoever. I don't know, maybe because like she's an adult now and adults have sex. Like she's friggin' 26. She's pushing 30. Let her do sex stuff. I also love this take as well, which was in reaction to the pretty salacious Rolling Stone cover Sabrina just did, which came along with an interview too, where she actually addresses how obsessed people are with the way she incorporates sex into her work. It's always so funny when people complain. They're like, all she does is sing about this, but those are the songs that you've made popular. Clearly you love sex, which is true. Not all of Sabrina's songs are directly about sex or have like in-your-face sexual themes. I mean, literally her...
she is kind of right though. The songs that are popular are about sex, and I'm sure the whole discography, as we were just talking, she had earlier songs that never ended up being popular because they weren't about sex, I guess.
New song "Manchild" isn't exactly a sexy cut. In fact, I feel like that song is more representative of what many of her tracks are about, complaining about a relationship dynamic where she's getting the short end of the stick because the guy she's with is either immature or stupid on some level. And what's hilarious to me is that she keeps, at least creatively, subjecting herself to these relationship dynamics over and over and over. And even on the bridge of the track, in my opinion, she hits us with a bit of cope, saying, oh, I like my boys playing hard to get, and I like my man all incompetent. I swear they choose me, and I'm not choosing them. What does that even mean? What the hell are you saying? Like, they're choosing you, but also you're volunteering to be in these relationships, and you're complaining about being treated this way constantly, but yet you're also admitting that you like your men stupid. I mean, in my opinion, if there's anything to point out as annoying about Sabrina's writing at this point, it's this dynamic. Sabrina outright admitting that sex sells, and that's why she does it. She's not trying to make a commentary. She's not doing it for so-called empowerment. It's money, notoriety. She doesn't care if it's controversial. Okay, like, first off, she didn't say that. That's not what she said.
To be frank, Pablis took that part out of context for his bit.
She said she makes songs about a range of different...
To be fair.
Topics, and it just so happens to be the most sexual ones and bits that people are the most obsessed with. And finally, I think I'll give my own read of this whole message or presentation Sabrina is doing here. One that I hope you guys see as maybe being a little bit more nuanced and understanding of what an album cover like this signifies. I think it kind of makes sense within the creative rubric that Sabrina Carpenter has been presenting us with the past year plus or so, because to willingly involve yourself in any kind of sexual dynamic with somebody where you are playing a submissive role, that typically involves a lot of trust and communication and understanding, which when you look at a lot of Sabrina's writing around relationship dynamics are clearly aspects of her romantic involvements that are lacking or just not there. So in a way with this cover, she could be communicating that like a relationship dynamic or a sexual dynamic where she might feel safe engaging in this kind of behavior because she actually can trust the partner that she's doing it with might actually be what she is communicating, wanting, and desiring on some level with this cover. And there is also, keep in mind, a juxtaposition going on here with, yes, again, the cover and the hair pulling and the title "Man's Best Friend," like, oh, look at me, I'm being treated like a dog.
This is the other cover I was telling you.
And the hair pulling and the title "Man's Best Friend," like, oh, look at me, I'm being treated.
It was like a golden puppy with a collar.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
No, but that was the alternative cover.
This is a little boring. I ain't gonna lie. The current one, it's at least it provokes the conversation. There's nothing to talk about this. Like, I guess now that we know the other one,
Mhm.
we can we can start reaching, oh, a color, so
Yeah, like man's best friend.
yeah, but if you just saw this without
Mhm.
the first one,
And the dog is golden like her hair.
okay, fine. But that's what I'm saying. If you just saw this without the other cover, there was nothing to talk about here. You just really think it's about a dog.
Like a dog. And yet simultaneously I'm going to kick my album cycle off with a song that's just like outright hating on guys for being completely inept klutzes on a song that on some level does read more like a bumper sticker than an in-depth personal experience, but what are you gonna do? Though I doubt even with all of that explanation it'll make much sense to the more sexually puritanical adults who are reacting to this cover like it's the worst thing they've ever seen. Oh no, the sky is falling. Yeah, we live in a sexually repressive age, and while Sabrina Carpenter isn't doing it the boldest or the craziest here on this cover, I can at least commend that she's pushing against it a little bit in her own way. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the people that are offended by this is on some sort of level insecure, unhappy in their relationship, something.
Because they want to speak for her. On her behalf.
Yeah, because then like if it's women, then maybe the women want to be like that, but their husband's not letting them, or for whatever their religion is not letting them, whatever, they can't do that, so they're jealous because she's so free. If guys are speaking like that, they ain't getting none.
Can I see the comment?
I don't know. Like who's offended by this? I don't get it. Like there's nothing to. If you want to be offended, at least be offended about WAP. That's okay.
Yeah, but it's good to see that overall.
Oh, that the energy is the same for
the
everybody.
energy is the same, because usually they say, oh, the energy is not the same. But we see the energy is the same for everybody. But what about when the guys do it?
Don't be shy, Fantano. Create her albums cover your thumbnail.
Huh? I don't understand.
Don't be shy, Fantano. Create her albums cover in your thumbnail. They're asking him to get in the same position to recreate the thumbnail.
Oh.
Big day for chronically online people. You're telling me she isn't actually a carpenter? No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. Gets people going. Okay.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.